Today we are going to learn about problem solving with percents. Okay, enough of that. I'm not going to be weird. I honestly had never thought of this before, but percent, per means like out of, and cent means 100, like in century. So percent literally means out of 100. So if you have 25%, it means 25 per 100, 25 out of 100. I just never really thought of that. This is the first page that you have on your notes. The primary use of percents is to compare two numbers. 2 is 50% of 4. 5 is 25% of 20. This model can be helpful, but basically when you look at this phrase, 2 is 50% of 4. The is the equal sign, the of is the multiply. So if you remember, is the equal sign, of is multiply, you should be fine. So in example 1, what number is 30% of 70? So what number is 30%? How do we write 30% as a decimal? 0.3. Of means multiply. So what number is 30% of 70? You grab your calculator and punch in 0.3 times 70, and you get 21. A union negotiates for a cost of living raise of 7%. What is the raise for a union member whose salary is $40,240? So they're saying, what would be 7% of 4,240? So if you need to write it out, what number is 7% of 4,240? To see how to set that up, that would be fine. 7%. Remember, 7% means 7 parts per 100. So if you're struggling with how to change percents into decimals, do that number divided by 100, and that will give you the percent as a decimal. So 0.07 times 40,240 is $2,816 and 80 cents. So that's the raise. What is the person's new salary? We would then need to take their old salary, $40,240, plus their raise, $2,816.80. $43,056.80. That 80 cents, he gets an extra pack of ramen noodles that year. 14 is 25% of what number? This turns that phrase around a little bit. So 14 means equals. 25% as a decimal is 0.25. Of means multiply. And then we're trying to find that number. So how would we get that blank on a side by itself? Take 14 divided by 0.25. This number would be 56. If you want to set this up like a true equation, 14 equals 0.25 times x, and then divide both sides by 0.25 to get 56. B is worded kind of weird. You missed an A in your chemistry course by only 3 points. Your total points for the course was 402 points. How many points were possible in the course? Assume that 90% is an A. So you missed the A by 3 points. That means if you had 405 points, you would have had an A. You would have had 90%. So 405 is 90% of how many total points? And you can use whatever letter you want for that, or even a blank. Divide both sides by 0.9, and I got 450. So 450 total points. So one more time, this is asking what the percent is. Remember, is means equal, of means multiply. So 576, I can't even write, is what percent of 800? If you can take that English phrase and convert it into math, is means equals, of means multiply, we would divide both sides by 800. And we get 0.72. What does 0.72 mean? I think my class is scared of being famous on YouTube. Because, you know, I have thousands of followers. Not. A real estate agency receives a commission of $8,092.50 for the sale of a $124,500 house. What percent commission is this? So, let's do this right. $88,092.50 is what percent of 124,500? Or honestly, just think about this. Smaller number divided by total will give you the percent. This gives me 0.065. What percent is 0.065? Okay, if we have something like 25%, and that means 25 divided by 100 to get the 0.25, if you're starting from the other end with 0.065, multiply that times 100, and that will give you the 6.5%. So if you're going from decimal to percent, multiply by 100. Or take your decimal point and move that decimal point 2 places, 6.5%. All right. This is important to have in your notes. Honestly, these formulas are not all that difficult, and if you really think about it, it totally makes sense. But as we're working on it, it can be a little bit confusing. So the difference between the cost, the amount that the retailer actually pays, and the price, the amount that we pay, is called the markup. The selling price equals the cost of the item plus the markup. That makes sense. They take the amount that they spend plus the markup, and that's what they sell it for. The markup is the markup rate. Like, say the markup rate is 20%. So the markup would be 20% times the cost. That's how much they would charge for the markup. So really these formulas make sense, but to actually do these problems, it can be a little bit confusing. So we need to fill in these blanks using the formulas on that previous slide. So I know that the selling price, $125.98, equals the cost, which I don't know, plus the markup, $56.69. And if you want to use X's or A's or B's or whatever, you can. If you just want to use color-coded circles or just circles, that's totally fine too. How would you figure out what goes in this purple circle? Minus $56.69. So $125.98 minus $56.69. We get $69.29. Think about that for a minute. The store pays about $70 for this thing, and they sell it to us for $126. It's kind of bogus, but whatever. The markup rate. Our other one was that the markup, $56.69, equals the markup rate. Notice we don't know what that is, times the cost, which we just figured out was $69.29. How do you undo times $69.29? Divide. So 56.69 divided by 69.29. I get 0.81815. It keeps going. Let's round that to 82%. I want you to see if you can fill in the two blanks in B. You're going to have to write two separate equations using the formulas on the previous slide. So try B on your own. Hey, those of you watching the video, that means that you need to pause the video and try this and then play the video. Don't just stare at the screen. Try it. Do it. Here's my fancy color-coded circles. I started with the selling price that I don't know equals the cost plus the markup, but I didn't know the markup, so I did markup equals markup rate times cost and figured out the markup and then put that into my original equation to figure out the selling price. The sale price equals the original list price minus the discount. The discount is the discount rate, like 40% off or whatever, times the original list price. Using those formulas, original, that means original list price. So see if you can use those formulas and figure out the missing pieces in this chart. Pause the video. Pause it. Pause it. Okay, so this is a big mass of colors. I'm kind of hoping that you can see the thought patterns, but I started with sale price equals original list price minus the discount. I didn't know the discount, so over here I did discount equals discount rate times the original price. That gave me the discount. Then I could finish this first equation and figure out that my sale price is $59.98. On the second line, your sale price, $695, equals your original price, which we don't know, minus the discount, $300. So we're able to figure out that that's $995. And then the discount rate that we didn't know, discount equals discount rate times the original list price, which we figured out in that first step. We were able to figure out that's 0.301, so about 30%. Questions? Comments? Okay. And there's your assignment. I'll just let it sit on there until the video runs out. So you're going to have about 30 seconds of looking at the assignment until the end of the video. Actually, I'm not going to because then we can't talk. So that's your assignment. Pause the video so you can write this down. Okay.